Hello, Tom.
Hi, how are you?
How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine.
Okay, so we'll continue with terms related to mixed martial arts. So they can be used to describe the sport or anything else in your life. So the next word or term is uppercut.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, those who watch and love watching boxing, they're familiar with this as well. So uppercut.
Right. An uppercut would be a hit that comes from below. I would also say from close to the body as well. That's a good way to do it. Yeah. A cut from below to hit somebody in the head.
So you can use cut as a noun, right, to describe a blow as well.
A cut, yeah. You can also use a cut to describe somebody that's changing directions quickly. Would also be a cut.
Like on a highway?
Yeah, like on a highway, you can say someone cut in or they cut out. Or in soccer or football, if a person changes directions, you can say they cut to the right, cut to the left.
Okay. Next one is octagon. So some of the events happen in octagon. For example, UFC. So, and that's the geometrical shape, right?
That would be 8 sides, yes. That would make more sense than 4 sides because 8 sides doesn't really have any sharp corners.
Okay.
It would be close to being round.
That reminds me of something else. It ends with argon, which is pentagon.
Pentagon, right. Pentagon would be 5. Also,
and why is it called pentagon?
Because it has 5 sides. The penta means 5. The the U.S. military headquarters is in the Pentagon.
Okay, next one. Someone telegraphs his attempts to strike. Right. So telegraph. I know telegraph is an invention, just like telephone and television. And to telegraph, one meaning means to send via telegraph, right? So what it means in this context, someone telegraphs attempts to strike.
It means they're communicating to the other person what they're about to do.
Which is not a good thing, right?
Usually it's not a good thing. For example, let's say they're going to hit somebody with their right fist.
Uh-huh.
Maybe what they do is make a little wave with their left fist before they make the right fist attempt, and then if the opponent is observant, he'll notice that before he hits, he always does a certain thing. It could also be they lower their head. It could be something that another person might not notice, but an observant opponent would.
So you want to be as sneaky as possible and not to telegraph your blows or your strikes.
Exactly. And then this works over into other sports too. And the coaches try to teach the athletes to do different things before they're about to do something to throw off the opponent so the opponent can't figure out what they're about to do.
Okay, next one is to be careful not to be cracked.
Yeah,
or to avoid being cracked. So, and it's another word for it's another synonym for being clipped or being tagged. Basically, being hit. There's a bunch of verbs that mean the same thing, right? So, to be cracked would be to be hit.
That's what it sounds like to me. It also sounds like where a person loses their dominance. That's what it sounds like to me.
Because you can crack a nut, for example, right?
Well, you can also
would mean you have to strike and crack it open.
Right. You can also have a criminal suspect, and then the suspect will crack. That's where the police have gotten them to the point where they're ready to confess. So,
Okay.
so the crack refers to the moment that they start to become weak.
And this probably happens after talking to a bad cop, not a good cop.
Probably after the bad cop, yeah. And you can also use this in other situations where somebody's trying to negotiate an agreement and they want the upper hand. But generally the person that cracks is the person who becomes weaker.
Right.
That's my interpretation.
Okay, next one. Wins by stoppage. Which self-explanatory, because stop, everyone knows what stop is.
It sounds to me like that's where a person, grabs the other person, or...
Well, actually, stoppage would be the stop of the event or of the fight by referee. So
oh, I see. And
whatever the reasons are, technical. I mean, maybe injury of one of the athletes and impossibility to continue. But it's just interesting. It's not stop, because you can have a stop sign on the road, right?
Right.
So it's kind of a derivative of stop, which is stoppage.
Well, the age puts a...
Yes.
Turn
Do you use anywhere else this word, stoppage?
Sure. You can use it for...
I think like a strike at a factory or a plant, it can be called stoppage.
For stoppage, yeah. For stoppage, yes.
Okay, next word is mouthpiece. And again, this is easy to understand if you are familiar with contact sports, right? Because it consists of two words, mouth and piece. So it's a piece that you put in a mouth.
It sounds like it has multiple meanings. Yes, it could be a piece of plastic you put in your mouth so your teeth don't get hurt.
And scattered.
And scattered, right. It could also be that a mouthpiece can also be a person that speaks for someone else. So you could say Jay Carney is a mouthpiece for Barack Obama.
And what is the other piece that you put in your to protect your groins? What is it called?
Well, that's called a cup.
Oh, the cup, just the cup.
And you have a groin. You don't have groins. You only have one.
Well, I have multiple, so. Okay, so it's a simple. Instead of saying a groin cup, you just call it a cup.
A cup, right.
Okay, and so last phrase for today is a clinch. A clinch in the middle of the octagon, I guess, or a clinch in the middle of the round. And I understand a clinch would be a position or situation where two fighters get a hold of each other and grab each other and, try to...
That's what I understand. It's where it's like when people hold on to each other. That's the way I look at it.
So if you are meeting your friends or relatives you haven't seen for a while, you don't want to give them a clinch. You want to give them a hug.
Give them a hug, right. Now, a clinch is where someone wins before the end of the season. A clinch is where one team wins before the end of the season. For example, if one of the teams is 2 or 3 games up and there's not enough games left for another team to beat them, then they clinched the series, or they clinched the title.
Which means the one is by...
They won before the end of the season.
Okay, and what does it mean if one team is 5 games up? What does up means?
In this case, up means they're ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, so it actually looks like it has multiple definitions.
So would you rather get into clinch with a man or a woman?
They also have clinch fighting too. Depends what I'm...
So we'll finish for today, and we'll resume this MMA phrases and terms next time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good day.
Okay, you too.